Georgetown. I just want to share a little bit about my life and the things that God has brought me from. At the age of 5, I lost my sister, my grandmom, and my granddad within 1 year. And I didn't know why. And through that, I had hurts because of not understanding. And as I grew up, I was angry because my sisters rejected me. I never was able to fit in with them. And I was always raised in church. I knew the Word. I knew who God was. I knew what God said He was and what He did. But, as I got into middle school, just different people I seen, I was angry, I was bitter. I wasn't the type of person to, be in a clique, because I would run from the rednecks to the gangsters to the punks to everything else, I never had a certain clique. So that was never a problem, but the problem was I was hurting, and when, I had friends, and they would, tick me off, so I would push them away, and people would try to beat them up. And then, so, as my 8th grade year, I got in a fight with my sister. And it was I hurt her, and then as I grew up, I really understood the reason why. Because hurt people, and even at a young age, I was so desperate for someone to love me, but in the same sense, I didn't know how to receive that love because I was never shown affection. And then, my high school years, I was the class clown. I would hit Romanian teachers with Starburst because it was so funny, and honestly, I was just trying to get attention that I was not shown. I was always in the principal's office, and my 11th grade year, my dad got diagnosed with cancer. And, during middle school, there was a morning that he was gasping, called 911. I was in my bedroom with the door shut, asleep. How I heard him gasping, I don't know. But the EMTs got there, and they were like, dude, if we were 3 minutes later, he'd have been dead. So it must have been God. But when he got diagnosed with cancer, I was this person that believed in God. I knew what God said. And when my mama sat down with me, she was like, I got something to tell you. And I was like, yeah, Dad has cancer. I already knew that. But it didn't stop me from going to church. But what I realized was going to church doesn't define your walk with Jesus. Because when I was outside of the church, what was I really doing? Not serving Him, I would put on a front in front of people because, this is what they would want. But it doesn't really matter what they want because that's not what God called me. So after I graduated, I was really battling with going to the military or going to school for nursing. When all along I knew that God called me to the mission field.
Yeah.
And my daddy looked at me and he was like, I'll sign the papers when you turn 17 to put you in the military if that's really what you want. And in my heart, I was like, that's always what Daddy did, so why couldn't I do that same thing? And, I decided not to because I was thinking about, I could go there and get killed, all this crazy stuff. But then, so I started school, a year and a half ago. I finished 2 semesters, and I quit. And my reason was, because Daddy's sick and I need to be home with him. When all honesty, I didn't know what God had planned for me in 2013. I didn't know that God was getting ready to raise me up and send me out.
Yeah.
But during this time, I had friends come into my house, and I called them friends, but they really weren't my friends. They stayed during the time, they called the crisis team in on my dad, and, here was these people, and of course, they here, come smoke this joint, here, let's go drink. It'll really help you feel better. When all honestly, dude, it doesn't help you. It makes you worse because you have a void that's just getting deeper and deeper and deeper.
Come on. Up with stuff
Yep.
Because the only person that can set you free is Jesus.
Yes.
The only person that can heal that hurt is Jesus.
Yes.
And my daddy passed away in September, and I ran from God the hardest I think I've ever ran in my life. I was smoking marijuana every day. I was getting drunk every night. My mama looked at me and she was like, Monica, what are you doing? You're not the same person that I raised. And for my mom to look at me and say, there's something wrong with you, there was something wrong. But, you know, and I was reaching out for help, but when people would try to help me, I would push them away because I didn't know how to receive that. I didn't know how to grab a hold and use that in my life. But I can say that in the past month, God's totally transformed my life. I'm set free. No longer do I need marijuana. No longer do I need alcohol. And no longer do I need any affection from any other person because I have Jesus. And, like, just so y'all know, in 2013, I will be playing the bass, helping plant churches, and I will also be going on 2 mission trips. So that's just what Jesus can do for you. So don't try to fill your voids with stuff because that's not what you need. It's just going to hurt you in the long run. And God will place people in your life at the perfect time if you allow. So I think that's it, dude.